okay, I'm bored. Let's see what you got. So Satan goes out and he ruins Job's life. But Job never forsakes God. And that is what How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is based off of. Matthew McConaughey is Job. Kate Hudson is Satan. But if any of the relationships that I had in my 20s had worked out, I would not have my dream job. I would not have the career I've always wanted. And I've had a lot of cool experiences just this year as a result of being on my own. I finally got to do some shows in Europe back in April, which was a dream come true. And because I was single, instead of taking someone I was dating, I took my best friend, Courtney. Courtney's been my best friend since we were 10 years old. 20 years, she's seen me through everything. She saw me through depression in high school. She saw my first stand-up show ever. When I called off an engagement a few years ago, she kept my wedding dress in her attic like it was Jumanji. I'm like, just put this where I can't hear the drums. And she and I got to run around Europe paying for shit with my dick joke money. It was awesome. And it was really special to have her on that trip with me because exactly a year before that, last April, I was alone in a green room in Colorado, pre-show, post some breakup. And I got a call from Courtney. And I was like, hey, I thought you were on vacation with your boyfriend this weekend. And she goes, yeah, no, we are, but I just want to check in and see how you were doing. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. And I talked to her about me for like 10, 15 minutes. And finally I was like, hey, you're not really saying anything about you and your trip. I mean, are you guys okay? And she goes, oh my God, yes. Oh yeah, no, we're great. We're actually, we are actually engaged. And I was like, what? Oh my God, why did you ask about me at all? And she goes, I don't know. I guess I just wanted to make sure that you were in a place where you could hear it. It was so sweet and so hurtful. I have never felt so seen and so insulted in my whole life. Her fiance was there the whole time. Oh, she's like, and then what else? She sounds stable. She sounds like she could handle it. That's how you know your best friends met the one, by the way, when you can no longer get them on the phone alone ever again. You call them late at night crying halfway through the call. They're like, by the way, you don't care that Todd's been here the whole time, right? And you're like, oh my God, no. I actually called to see if Todd thinks I have a yeast infection. So glad Todd is available. And don't get me wrong, I love my best friend's fiance. I think he's an amazing guy. If he died, would a little part of me be like, sleep over? Of course. But I really was so touched that she was thinking about me and my mental health during her engagement that I went out on stage that night and I said, before we start the show, can you guys do me a huge favor? Can we make a video for my best friend who just got engaged? And the crowd's like, yeah. So I got my phone, I put it on selfie mode, and I went 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, Courtney! Me and 2,000 people yelling at her. And I got off stage that night and I texted her the video to say, hey, I love you. I'm so happy for you. And look at all these people who paid to see me. I'm doing just fine. I have one of Hugh Jackman's gloves. Thank you so much, DC. You are absolutely amazing. My dad was so religious growing up, he used to insist on praying out loud in restaurants before we ate dinner, which is fine if you're into that, but keep it short. He wouldn't do that. He would do long, drawn-out prayers full of personal details that none of us signed off on at the table, which made puberty pretty rough with your dad in public, just like, thank you, Lord, for this food. Thank you for bringing us here together. Thank you that Taylor's a woman now and is getting the help she needs in math. I'm like, can you not tell this Chipotle that I'm bleeding and can't subtract? I think God knows. It's why I don't feel bad telling jokes about my parents on stage now, because anytime they're like, do you have to air our dirty laundry in front of strangers? I'm like, hometown buffet, 1998. You told everyone within a 5-booth radius that I shat my pants the night before. I can say whatever I want. I'm not religious anymore. I have had some friends find religion as adults recently, which is very upsetting. If you grew up religious and you're not anymore and your adult friends find religion, it feels like God is your shitty ex-boyfriend who's now getting it together for your friend, and you just have to watch it happen on Facebook. They're like, have you met God? He's amazing. I'm like, yeah, I grew up with God. He's a douchebag, all right? Did he tell you were broken and you need him? That's his move. That's what he does. He says that to everybody. Don't drink what he gives you. You drink that, next thing you know, you're eating his body, the Holy Spirit's inside you. It's a whole system they have over at that frat house they call church. Who else uses Roman numerals? That joke makes it sound like I resent my religious upbringing, and I do, so I nailed it. But... no, honestly, if I had to come up with some stuff that was like positive about me growing up religious, I'm sure I could with enough time and money. But I do have some issues with it. It gave me some serious trust issues, and it just made me weird growing up in church in ways that I am still discovering. For example, I just found out that I masturbate wrong. I will back up. Okay, so when I was growing up in church, kids had youth group, and at youth group they were like, don't have sex, and we were like, for sure. And then they were like, don't even masturbate, and all the girls were like, okay, we didn't even know that we could. And all the boys were like, why? And the way they explained it to us was, our youth pastor told us, he goes, it's not the physical act of masturbating that's the sin, you guys, all right? It's not even the orgasm. In fact, if you have a wet dream, thank God for the freebie and have an awesome day. But what are you thinking about while you're doing that to yourself, guys? That's what the sin is. It's the lust in your heart. It's the impure thoughts in your head. That is what the sin is. So when I got to be an adult and I wanted to masturbate, I was like, well, if I just don't think about anything, I could probably still go to heaven, right? Just like clear your mind, get in there, get it done. See you soon, Jesus, right? Touch nothing but the lamp. So I've been doing this my entire adult life. All my friends are like, you gotta meditate. I'm like, I think I do. And I do mean my entire adult life, by the way. I did not masturbate till I was a grown woman. I was that afraid of going to hell, all right? Yeah. I had my first orgasm with my college boyfriend. Do you know how embarrassing that is to get your first orgasm from another person? That's like having a realtor show you your own house. They're like, and over here we have a second bathroom. You're like, a second bathroom? Like, you've been here for 19 years. You never went poking around on your own? You're like, I did once, but I thought Jesus would get mad. So, yeah, I don't actually own this place. I'm just renting it from the guy upstairs. And if I flood the basement, I do not get my security deposit back. So, is there anything else I should see while you're here? She's like, yeah, let me show you the doorbell. I'm like, oh, is the doorbell even important? She's like, the doorbell is the only thing that matters. Nobody comes inside without touching the doorbell. Oh, but I did touch it. You didn't use enough pressure. It didn't light up. So thank you for coming to this. You did not have to. AI is getting pretty good. It's getting way too good. I don't trust it. My iPhone started capitalizing the G in God again without asking me. Did that happen to anyone else? Yeah, I don't know which update it was, but all of a sudden my iPhone's like, did you mean King of Kings? The robots are coming and they love the Lord. Are you guys worried about the robots? You concerned? Yeah. Have you looked at the people in your life, your friends, your family, and then back at yourself and gone, uh-oh. I got back into therapy. Anybody in therapy? Mostly women. That's the problem. It's very hard to stay in therapy. My old therapist told me that when I get close to people, I have a tendency to self-sabotage. And I thought that was bullshit, so I ghosted her. And then I finally went back because I finally dated enough people who all gave me the exact same feedback about my shitty personality. You know that romantic quota you hit where you're like, uh-oh, might be me. Oh, the reviews are in and they are unanimous. That's a bummer. So after a really bad breakup a few years ago, I finally took a long, hard look at myself and said, okay, Taylor, 5 out of 5 dudes all think that in fights, you behave like a raccoon trapped in a trash bag. So maybe it's time to get some Klonopin or a rabies shot. I am fully medicated now. Anybody else? Antidepressants? Medication? Yeah. Nice. What are we on? Shout it out. Zoloft, Lexapro. Ooh. Look at us. Gang's all here. Oh my God. I'm also on something. I would never say what. That's very personal, but... No, I'm kidding. I'm on a few things. I am on Klonopin as needed for panic attacks. I'm so glad I have Klonopin now, because before I had medication for it, I would have panic attacks right when I had to be somewhere, which is the worst time to get them, because then you just have to pinch the panic attack off like a shit you don't have time to take. You know what I mean? When you're like, okay, I got 60% of that out of my system. I'm not done, but I gotta go to work. I will get to the other 40 later, or I'll finish in the big stall at lunch if no one's in there. I got put on something else for sleep because I have night terrors. There's no fun, casual way to say that. Wake up screaming. And these sleeping time pills I got are great. They don't stop the nightmares, but they do hold you down while they're happening. Which sounds bad, but before I'd wake up in the middle so afraid, and now I stay asleep until the nightmare's natural conclusion, which provides you with some closure. You're like, oh, he stabs me at the end. Okay, plot twist, M. Nightmare Shyamalan. The craziest thing that happened is my mom died of cancer. See? You almost forgot. And then my dad got remarried, and then our stepmom got cancer. She's fine, don't worry. I wouldn't do that to you twice. That's God talking to my dad. And as soon as our stepmom got it, me and my siblings were like, holy shit. Is Dad giving people cancer? We thought he was a carcinogen. We were like, don't microwave anything for him. I think that's how he's doing it. If he had taken down a second one, we would have put a warning on his Christian Mingle account. Like bare minimum. Just like, hey, chemicals in here have been known to cause cancer. Ride at your own risk. I feel like some people don't believe me that she's alive. She's completely fine, you guys. She's happy, healthy, great lady. We actually call my stepmom Mom because when my dad married her, nobody was using it. So we were like, yeah, be Mom. Who cares? Oh, I'm sorry. If your principal quit and you got a new principal, they wouldn't be like, this is Lisa. Like, let her be principal. There's an opening. Also, we were so young when it happened and my dad got remarried so fast. I think he was kind of hoping he could just like Indiana Jones, switch him out before anybody noticed. You know when you're a kid and your hamster dies and your parents don't want to explain death to you, so they just buy you a new one that looks the same and they're like, no, that's Connie. She just bites now. That's kind of what he did. But with moms. But I never used to talk about any of that. I never used to talk about my mom dying because I didn't want to make people uncomfortable. And also, like most of us with childhood trauma, should be pretty much everyone in here. If you're sitting here tonight going, I don't think I have any, I had great parents, I had a good childhood, and this comedy show, it's not that fun for me. Good. I hope this is the worst night of your whole life. Because it sounds like it's been smooth sailing. And you might need some perspective. But most of us did have some childhood trauma. And when you get to be an adult, you're like, whoo, made it. Never have to think about that again. Look at all my keys. The world's my oyster. And so you just start pushing all that dark stuff that happened to you as a kid down, 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 until you don't even think about it anymore. And that works for a long time. Until one day. You stub your toe really hard on a curb and you just start weeping uncontrollably in the street. And you're like, okay, this is about something else. I was keeping all my trauma in that toe. And then I jostled it, and now it's everywhere. Go back in. And if you don't deal with that stuff, it's going to keep affecting you in ways you are not even conscious of. I don't think I'm smarter than religious people. I hate it when atheists talk down to anyone who believes in God. I've believed a lot of stupid shit in my life. God's not even top 3, okay? I've believed tall guys. He plays guitar, he must be nice. I'm dumb, all right? When my religious family members talk about God, like God got me through the hardest years of my life, I'm like, shit, that's how I talk about Gilmore Girls. Like, I'm an idiot. And I capitalize those G's. I make sure every time. That's right. Yeah. But I have a lot of Christians in my life. A lot of people praying for me, which I try not to take personally. You ever have someone say they're praying for you and you don't know what they're referring to? They're like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm praying for you. What? I'm not sick. Oh yeah? Well, I'm praying for you. What do you think about that, Bev? Heard you need it, bitch. She's like, no, God's just been putting you on my heart lately. Well, tell God to scrape me off your heart because I'm doing awesome, okay? I don't know what you heard in the church parking lot, but that was a family matter, Bev. I'm going to tint the van windows. I have a lot of cool Christians in my life. The part about being single, hands down, is that you do not have to introduce anybody to your parents. Have you guys introduced people you were dating to your parents? It's not about introducing people you love to one another, is it? No. It's about showing your partner why you're mean to them sometimes. It's about taking your sexual partner back to the scene of the crime. To say, see, the stories are true. Because you don't want your partner to like your parents. You want them to walk out of that night going, oh my God. Your parents are just, I know. I mean, seriously, babe, how did you ever? I don't know. Kind of seems like maybe people should cut me some slack when I'm being a bitch, though, huh? Kind of seems like maybe now that we have all the information, turns out I could be a lot crazier if I wanted. But I keep a lid on it pretty good, and I deserve to stop at Target on the way home. With no time limit. And I want a cart, not a basket. You have to be careful when you introduce people to your parents, though, because your parents don't always show up as your parents, do they? Mine never did. My parents undermined me every single time I brought someone home to meet them. I did everything right. I did the huddle up in the car before we went in, like, hey, remember what I told you? Those people in there, they're not your friends. Whatever they say to you, do not take that personally. It's not about you, it's about them. Do you want to write that on your hand in case you forget? No? You can look at my tattoo if you get scared. Let's do it. And then you go inside prepared for your parents to show their true colors. And your parents float downstairs. And they're just amazing all night. They're like fun, cool, laid back. Your dad's in an open Hawaiian shirt. Just a one-man conga line, topping off drinks, saying all kinds of progressive shit you've never heard him say. You want another beer? We should golf sometime. What are your pronouns again? And you gotta get back in the car later muttering like a conspiracy theorist. Like, well, that was not, and I was there, and I know what happened, and it was all right. And no one can tell me what didn't happen, and I know where it is. While your boyfriend buckles up like, I don't know what you're talking about, babe. Your parents are awesome. And you're like, oh, no, they are not. I don't know who those lizard people were. But they are not the ones who broke me. And the next time you see your parents, they're all smug, like, Jason really seemed to like us. You're like, I know what you're doing. Oh, maybe your therapist wants to meet us next, get our side of the story. I cannot wait till you're in the ground. All right, well, we'd like to be cremated. I will scatter your ashes where God can't find them. I will see you both at Easter. Is there anyone in here who grew up religious but is not religious anymore? You're at the right show. All right, of those people, who saved people? Who spread the good news while they were religious? Ooh, bit of a drop off there. That's tough. A lot of us didn't do the homework. You saved people while you're religious, but you're not religious anymore? Okay. Do you ever feel, serious question, do you ever feel like maybe you should, like, call those people? Just a courtesy call of like, hey, remember when I told you about forever? Oh, I don't know. What if those people get up to heaven and they're like, look, your sponsor's not in there, so we didn't know you were coming. I don't know. Are you sure? Maybe they Holy Ghosted you. We're sorry. For real, though, you got to go to hell. We're sorry about that. I never saved anybody at all. I was talking to someone who grew up Mormon. I was like, well, you guys were really saving people. And he was like, oh, yeah, baptism for the dead. You guys know what that is? I didn't know. Apparently, in Mormonism, sometimes they will save people after they've died, which really takes the pressure off of saving live people, doesn't it? When you can just go, hey, do you believe in God? And they're like, no. And you're like, that's okay. We'll wait. And then as soon as they're dead, you're like, bibbity-boppity Mormon. This is how you get a soul to heaven, right? Like you're trying to get poop smell out of your Hinge date's bathroom. If you're not laughing, you're married, and fuck you, this joke's not for you. Enjoy shitting with the door open. Some of us have to carry matches everywhere. I have to be honest, my career is going very well right now. This is the last night of the biggest tour I've ever done. I am filming my third Netflix special tonight, and recently someone was using my name and photos on a dating app. It was me, I was doing it. Went through a breakup, got on a dating app. Why? Because my married friends told me to. If you're single, your married friends don't want you to be happy. They don't. They want you on those apps because the apps look fun and they can't go on them. So they want to stand behind you like a kid at an arcade with no fucking quarters while you fight for your life out there. They're like, go left, go right, go left, go right. You're like, do you want to play? They're like, more than anything. But I have the high score, so it wouldn't be fair. Your married friends don't want more married friends. Nobody wants more married friends. I'm sorry if you're married, and I know you're up front because two-income household. Nobody wants more married friends, okay? Because your life updates are boring. I'm happy you're settled. Good for you. You know who has fun life updates? Your single friends, because we're out there in the trenches making mistakes named Trevor, usually. Have you asked your married friends what they did over the weekend? You're like, what'd you guys do this weekend? They're like, oh, you know, just woke up next to my soulmate again. Then you ask your single friend, you're like, what'd you do this weekend? They're like, I woke up in a shallow grave. You're like, why are you proud of that? Did you have sex in a grave? They're like, why do you think we dug the grave? Do you guys have that one single friend who thinks she's really hot and fun, but she's actually just in constant danger all the time? That one girl, every time she tells you a dating story, you're like, oh my God, okay. No, we're not judging, but maybe just share your location with us indefinitely. I have one friend like that. Every week she tells me the scariest stories I've ever heard in my life. Just like, I had the hottest date Friday, Taylor. I'm making out with this guy at a bar, so sexy. Takes my hand, he's like, let me show you something. Pulls me back through the kitchen, into the back alley, pulls out his huge gun. Points it right at my face, like, give me your phone, your keys, and your wallet. I'm like, okay, kinky, I'll try anything once, right? He hits me in the head. I wake up 30 minutes later, alone in a puddle. I have to hitchhike home. Oh my God, I am such a Samantha. I'm like, okay, we think you got mugged, babe. We think... She's like, mugged? Oh my God, you're such a prude, Taylor. He's gonna call me. He has my phone. Seriously, you'll meet him. He took my breath away. We're like, no, he knocked the wind out of you. Your friends always say the dumbest shit when you go through a breakup, trying to be helpful, right? Like, well, why don't you just date yourself? Because you told me not to settle. What the fuck? I can do better than me. Why can't you just be single for a year? Why can't you go for a walk without headphones? Because you'll think about death the whole time. Exactly. I have a friend who said they knew Prodigal Son. And I go, oh, you know the story? And they're like, oh, no, I just think there was like a show or something. I've heard the term, right? If you don't know the story of the prodigal son, it's a story that Jesus teaches, tells in the Bible to teach a lesson, right? So in the story, there's a rich dad, and he's got 2 sons, and the older son does everything right because he's the oldest, and the younger son is like, I want my money now. And the dad's like, okay, that's not how inheritance works. I'm fully alive, but here you go. So he gives the younger son his money. Then this piece of shit bucks right off. Did I mention I'm the oldest of 4? This piece of shit bucks right off. And how do they put it? Squanders his wealth on wild living, which is Bible for blows it all on Bitcoin and lap dances. He then has the audacity to come back years later, like, sorry, Dad, I lost all your money. I suck. Can I come back? And the older son was probably like, yeah, finally, finish him. And the dad goes, my baby's home. Oh my God, let's throw him a big party. I know all the oldest kids in here. We all have diarrhea right now. I know every oldest kid in here. Your asshole went all the way inside your body. You're so upset. Just remember, these are people from the Bible. They can't hurt you. They've been dead a long time, okay? We're almost done. So the older son is obviously pissed. He's like, Dad, what? I've done everything right my whole life, and you've never even thrown me a small party. Look it up. He says that. And the dad is like, yeah, you're great. Love you. But your brother, he was lost, and now he's found. So we celebrate. And if you ask a pastor what that story is about, they will tell you that it's about how you can go off and live in sin and lose your way spiritually, but you can always return to the Lord and he'll forgive you. And if you ask me what that story is about, I will tell you that it is about how Jesus was an only child. Of being single. I used to just jump from relationship to relationship to relationship because I was so scared that I was going to die alone. And now that I'm older, I'm like, I'm not going to die alone. I don't go hiking by myself, all right? Someone will be there when I die. A doctor, a murderer. Someone will bear witness. But I've been single for the last year now, and it has been the most relaxing year of my entire life. It has been lovely, waking up every day going, oh, no one's gonna make me cry today but me. The peace, it's lovely. Here's the thing, being single is not what sucks. Dating is what sucks, and you can opt out of that. Dating is what's shitty, the constant push and pull of hope and disappointment. Dating feels like being a stuffed animal in a claw machine, like, oh my God, it's happening! No, it's not. Oh my God, here we go. Wow, can't believe I told people. That's embarrassing. And you're just moving me over to get to something else. I understand, I get that. And things change so quickly as you're getting older too. I had a friend, I didn't talk to her for a couple weeks. I called her to catch up. She goes, you'll never guess. I think I met my soulmate on Bumble. Gone, just like that. They're getting married this spring. We were lying in the same pile of stuffed animals for years. I closed my eyes for 2 minutes, and when I opened them, she was outside the glass going, it'll happen for you too! I love being the neutral friend who's not dating, because as you get closer to 30, breakups get more and more devastating. Half my friends are getting engaged, and the other half are going through the worst breakup of all time with the person they thought they were going to die with, which means half the phone calls I get are, I'm getting married, and the other half are, I'm getting old, and I'm like, I am getting Taco Bell. Who wants something? Taco Bell, good for every occasion. Nothing will make you more grateful to be single than watching your friend go through a devastating breakup. That's messed up to say, but it's the truth. I have a friend just went through a breakup, still follows her ex on social media because they're trying to be mature and evolved. Rookie mistake. Her ex just posted a photo of him and his new girlfriend, who is a model. I know, don't worry, we all called her. We're like, hey, how's it going? Have you been online today? Because we were thinking maybe doing like a no screens day. We were thinking maybe we just power down, get a quilt, find a field, maybe crack the Bible open one more time. I don't know. She's like, I already saw it. We're like, oh, we're too late. Okay, are you okay? She's like, no, honestly, I wish he was just like dating a man instead. And we're like, oh, you are so problematic, Trish. Why? Why would that be better for you if he was just dating a man instead? She goes, no, listen, because then if he dumped me for a man, it would be like, well, okay, then he just wanted something that I could never be. And we were like, well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of... No, we think you're so pretty, babe, but like a model? Like that's kind of like a different... Like look around, don't you think if you were a model, we'd all be models? But this isn't Model Squad, this is Personality Squad. Like this is a different team you're on. We have another friend who just got cheated on, which is crazy. You can't cheat anymore. It's not the 90s, you idiot. Your phone is tracking your every movement. You're going to get caught. You're going to go out and buy your side chick flowers. Your wife's going to get a text from Bank of America like, we noticed that Steve was being thoughtful? That just seemed like suspicious activity over here at BOA, because we know that POS. I think it's important to hang out with honeys I really wanted to marry. And when it didn't work out, I was devastated. I said, really? I didn't know about this. And my dad goes, I did. She talks about him all the time. And I was like, well, wait, who was this guy? What was his deal? And she goes, well, he was really cool, actually. He was an Alzheimer's scientist. And my dad goes, notice how that's not cured yet. And she's like, wow, honey, well, I hope we never get Alzheimer's. He's like, I hope we do, so we can all forget about this guy. I used to be way too loose with who I asked relationship advice from. I used to ask people in the audience, total strangers. I asked a couple in the front row of a show once, 2 couples therapists who had married each other. Which, I know, you ever see like quadruple stuffed Oreos and you're like, enough, right? That is a hat on a hat. It's excessive. But I was like, wow, 2 off-duty couples therapists. You gotta ask them, right? I said, do you guys have any advice for people in relationships, maybe people who are fighting a lot? And they said, we do. You know how a lot of people have a safe word to stop sex? Everyone needs to have a safe word during fights. So I asked a married friend of mine, I said, do you guys have a safe word for fights? And he was like, what? I'm like, it's a word that when you say it during the fight, it stops the fight. And he goes, oh yeah, we have one of those. I said, really? What is it? He goes, cunt. But I have to say it doesn't really work if she said it. I was like, Jesus, I was looking for like pineapple, dude, but... I used to ask people for relationship advice after breakups because I thought that was me working on myself, but it really wasn't. It was just me trying to figure out how to get into another relationship as quickly as possible so I wouldn't have to work on myself. The reason people don't want to be single for long periods of time is that once you're single for a little bit, you start to notice, ooh, some of the issues in my relationships are still here. And it's just me now. There's only one set of footprints in the sand. And no one's carrying my ass, right? Like, I've realized in the last year, I still have a lot to work on. I've realized I'm very petty in relationships. I realize that because I don't wear perfume when I'm single. Don't even think about it. I wear perfume when I'm in a relationship, though, because I know that if we break up and you smell that smell later, you'll get sad. And that makes me happy. I don't wear perfume to smell good. I wear it to haunt you later. I was on a first date with a guy. I realized we both had 3 younger siblings. I said, oh my God, let's text our sibling group chats right now. Ask them what our biggest flaw is. I'm so fun on a first date. I can't believe I'm alone. He texts his brothers, hey guys, what's my biggest flaw? And they write back, works too hard, cares too much. One of them wrote back dyslexic, which I thought was pretty funny. He couldn't read it, but I could. I text my siblings, hey guys, what's my biggest flaw? And my brother writes back immediately, probably that you expect everyone to hurt you, so you just leave before they can. I was like, dude, I'm on a date right now. He's like, oh, sorry, it works too hard. I thought this was a secure line. I'm a very emotional person. I'm a very emotional partner. I think I'm run by my emotions. Did you guys know that some people feel their feelings privately? Have you guys heard about this compartmentalizing bullshit? Some people apparently have these polite little feelings that shuffle up to them during the day, tug on their sleeve, like, hello, excuse me, I need to be felt at some point whenever you get a chance. And you're like, oh my God, well, I'm at work right now. And you're like, oh my God, you're at work? I'm so sorry. Do you have time later? Well, I get off and I was trying to think of positive things that came out of me growing up in church. And the most positive thing, I can't believe I didn't think of sooner, I started doing stand-up in churches. That's how I started doing this. They called it testimony, but I was getting laughs. And no. No, I really did. I started doing stand-up when I was 16 years old, and for the first, 4 or 5 years of my career, I was performing in a lot of churches. If you don't know, in America, you can make a living as a church comedian. You can tour churches even bigger than this, 4,000 or 5,000 seats, and make a great living that way. And when I was 21, I had to decide, am I going to go the church comedian route, or am I going to go the secular comedian route? And I think you know what I picked. But I am so grateful to have that as my foundation for my stand-up career. I mean, I got so much professional stage time in front of thousands of people. I got paid. I learned how to work clean and perform in any room. And I think about that a lot. I'm so grateful for it. And I know a lot of you are probably sitting there right now going, well, that's nice. It's cute that you're grateful, Taylor. And we get what you're doing with the church and everything. But, we've seen your stuff now. And there's no way you could perform in churches now. And here's the thing, I don't want to. And I probably won't. But I fucking could though, okay? Oh, if I get canceled or some shit, I'm a fucking professional and I will be returning to churches, okay? I will turn this ship around so goddamn gosh darn fast. In a fetus's heartbeat, I'll go back to churches. I will rebrand like you've never seen. I'll get real big hair, marry a man, let him lead. Write a book called Submissive Wife, Submissive Life. Adopt a southern accent out of nowhere. And yeah, I'm going on tour. I have the beginning of the show all planned out in my head. It's going to start off pitch black auditorium. Then on the big screen, I'm only doing mega churches. That's where the money is. On the big screen, a black and white montage, probably starting with the Netflix ba-dong noise. They own my ass for 8 more years. A black and white montage of all my raunchiest jokes from my 20s. And that's why getting a guy to wear a condom is fade out to demon noises. Freeze frame on my young face. Lights slowly come up as I walk out wearing all... You know what? I'm just going to show you. This is how you get pussy! I came so hard. I'll have you know, in bed, I am a wild animal, okay? And that's when I stopped believing in God. Go home and Google porn for women, okay? I lost my virginity late. I lost it when I was financially independent.
You guys, I'm literally fucking the patriarchy.
Are you wet? Let me feel. Yeah, I grew up with God. He's a douchebag. That joke makes it sound like I resent my religious upbringing. And I do, so I nailed it. Fucking hell! No Christian parents want to watch their daughter talk about depression and dick for an hour. Take that, Jesus! I don't know if any of you have tried to get a 20-something dude from a dating app to wear a condom lately, but it's sort of like trying to convince a 5-year-old to put a jacket on over his Halloween costume. That's when I stopped.
And you guys think I haven't tried to masturbate? Fucking hell!
Jesus!
Anybody recognize her? That was me, back when Satan had me in his clutches. And I can see some of you feeling like Joseph on Christmas right now. Like, is this whore lying to me? But everybody loves a comeback, don't they? It ain't a rebrand, it's a rebirth, folks. Welcome to the Prodigal Daughter Tour! All right, here's some great queer awakenings people sent in. I think the biggest difference between having sex with men and women is when you're having sex with a woman, you're there the whole time. You know? Because you know how with a man you can kind of just like... Not in a traumatic way, just in like I'm in the back seat on a road trip, forgot my headphones, let's look at clouds. Huh? I did. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Oh my God, yes. A big one. A huge, big, quiet, but big. It's just silent but deadly. I love those. Thank you so much. I've never faked an orgasm because I think our generation got enough participation trophies, but I don't judge you if you have to. We've all been there, right? When it's going too long. If you want to fake an orgasm, here's a little tip from me to you. Just hold your breath for as long as you can. Because then when you're like, it'll seem like you came when really you just came up for air. That's how you get rid of hiccups and Jeremy. Which, hey, close enough, but it did make me laugh real hard. Just, who betrayed Jesus? Bob the Tomato! I remember he bounced in like, you're gonna die, Jesus! I'm kidding, they didn't do it. No, they didn't do the crucifixion on VeggieTales. They wouldn't do that. That's crazy, that's way too dark. Also, no arms, so who's gonna do the finale? What are they gonna do? Put baby carrots on Larry? That's insane. We can't do that. I assume, even if you didn't grow up religious, you know like Noah's Ark. Most people know that one. That's our big one. It's on the cover of all of our coloring books. Yeah, it really is a testament to how fucked up the Bible is that we read Noah's Ark and we're like, that's the kid's story. That story is dark as hell. It's about God drowning all his kids because they were being annoying. And we're like, yeah, that should be the mural in the nursery. Come here, little buddy. These are the animals he didn't drown. Oh, what a lucky horsey that got to go on the boat with one friend. It's the rainbow. I think they think the rainbow saves it. God sent Noah, who probably had some trust issues at that point, the rainbow as a promise to never flood the earth again, which I think is the darkest part of the story. Rainbow after a destructive flood. I mean, that's like buying someone a ring after you push them down the stairs. That's crazy. Every time I see a rainbow, I don't think of gay rights. I don't even think of rain. I just think of God going, I mean, I didn't kill everybody. Some people don't even realize Noah's Ark's from the Bible. I've asked people, oh, do you know any Bible stories? They go, not one. I go, what about Noah? They're like, well, I know that one. Like, that's how much Bible stories have, like, infiltrated pop culture. I'm not. I'm running into obstacles I never thought I'd face. I got dumped by a polyamorous person. You ever been dumped by a polyamorous person? It sucks. It's like getting fired from a part-time job. They're like, you can't even work here Mondays and Tuesdays. Holy shit. I didn't think I was going to like dating somebody poly. She was poly. I was busy. But it actually ended up being the most honest, transparent, communicative relationship I'd ever been in. And I was totally in love with her. And she dumped me because I worked too much. And let me tell you something, Grand Rapids. When I started dating a polyamorous person, I did not think it was going to end because my lifestyle didn't work for them. I know some of you don't believe me. You're like, there's no way you liked being poly, Taylor. You are not cool. You reek of monogamy. I bet you masturbate to Bridgerton. And you know what? I don't. I have, but I don't. That joke's not going in the special. There's no way. No. That's way too vulnerable to put on Netflix. We'll not be doing that. Unless it helps the algorithm. We'll have to talk about it. If Netflix was like, if you liked Bridgerton. We had a basic ass pastor who stuck to 3 topics. He had 3 messages. You are forgiven. Marriage is hard. Merry Christmas. Like, those were the 3. I do feel for pastors on Christmas and Easter because those are big weeks at church, right? Those are recruitment weeks. That's when everybody comes out of the woodwork. That's when the decaf Christians swing by. You only see those motherfuckers twice a year, and you gotta blow their minds so hard with the extras that they upgrade their subscription to weekly. That's a lot of pressure. And as the pastor on Christmas and Easter, you can't get creative. You can't get weird with it. You can't do an acoustic set. You gotta play the hits. You gotta tell the stories, right? Easter's a better story than Christmas, in my opinion. If you don't know, Easter is the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ. It's where all of our merch is from. You've seen it. You've seen it. Dead guy up there, but tasteful, somehow very tasteful. Makes you think about your own death, like, ooh, hope I die in a way that looks good on jewelry, right? Think about it. When grandma died, were you like, ooh, slap her on an anklet? No, he's really doing it up there. I'll stop doing it. I'll stop doing it. We're all familiar. But Easter's a great story. There's a lot of action, right? It's the crucifixion, the resurrection. It's Jesus in his prime, early 30s, ripped. We betrayed him, we killed him, he's back. It's basically Twilight. It's a sexy, sexy story. I'm kidding. Twilight belongs to the Mormons. Don't take that from them, okay? They can't have caffeine. They need something to wake them up. Christmas is not as good a story. It's just not. The birth of Jesus, it starts off strong, right? An angel comes down from heaven, tells Mary, I know you're a virgin, but you're pregnant with the Son of God. Oh, shit. And then the angel has to go tell her boyfriend, Joseph, because believe women wasn't really a thing back then. So the angel's like, it's God in there, I promise. And then what? Then the angel leaves. Then it's just a long walk to a barn. That's most of Christmas, is just this right here. Jesus is barely in it. He comes in right at the end. He does 0 magic. It sucks. Jesus is basically the post-credit scene in a Marvel movie. It's trash. Sucks. I remember one year our pastor tried to spice up the Christmas story. Now, does anyone think they have a weird sleep tip? Super weird. Oh, wow. We got a confident hand right here. What do you got? What is it? Sleep in a different city? Bitch, do you know what my job is? Sleep in a different city? Know your audience. All right, what else we got? That was not a strong start. Anybody else have anything? It's okay if nobody does. Oh, we do right here.
It's like get a very firm, like advanced back support mattress.
Get a very firm mattress. Okay, do we need to hear the instructions again? If you think you have a weird sleep tip that I have never heard of, I would love for you to raise your hand and tell me, but if no one has anything, that's completely fine. We have one hand over here. What have we got, Glasses?
Cat plus Xanax.
Cat and Xanax. If you think that I don't have Xanax, this is your first show with me. Okay, all right. Well, if nobody else thinks, look, it's fine. We're okay. What about here, right here? What is it? Rhythmic breathing. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna be honest. Y'all shat the bed on this one. These were some basic answers, and that's okay. What? Did someone say read a book? I'm gonna fuck you up after this show. Meet me in the parking lot. Read a book. Oh my God. Okay, right here. Wow, it's crazy that people are getting more confident as they hear other people's terrible answers. They're like, I can beat firm mattress, surely. What have you got second row? What's on your back? Vicks on your back. These are not good, you guys. Thank you for playing. All right, what is the last one? Stretch for 5 minutes? I'm never coming back to this city again. up religious. A lot of people grew up sheltered, you know? Round of applause. How many people did not get a sex talk in here? Didn't get one. Round of applause. Oh, yeah, see? All right, now round of applause. Who did get a sex talk growing up? Who did get one? You did right here. Do you mind me asking you how old you were? Is it okay that I'm talking to you? I just want to make sure. If I talk to you and you're not into it, that's completely fine with me. I wouldn't talk to a live entertainer either. Do you consent to crowd work? I need a verbal yes, not just a thumbs up. Yes, see? Not that hard. That's how it's done. All right. All right. How old were you when you got the sex talk? 9. Okay. That seems a little early, but also kind of okay. I don't know how tall you were at 9. Right? Were you asking questions, or were your parents just like, it's time?
My mom took me for a picnic in the garden.
Your mom took you for a picnic in the garden? Fuck you so hard. Are you serious? Your mom took you to a picnic in the garden to tell you the horrors of sex. I'm sorry, I'm having an emotional reaction to that. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. This secret garden sex talk. Holy shit, okay, wow. What's that like, Lorelai Gilmore? Fuck me. So you weren't asking questions or anything. Your mom was just like, it's time. Oh, you were asking questions. See, a lot of people ask questions, and I didn't realize all these kids were so smart. I didn't know we were supposed to be smarter. I never asked any questions when I was a kid, which is so stupid now that I think about it. Because when I was a kid, before I got my period, I had 3 holes, right? I still do. I don't know why I said it like that. I still do, for the record, just for anybody watching. I still always have had, always will have. I mean, I think when you get your tubes tied, do they seal it? Oh, I'm going to Google it. Forget this. This was a tangent. I'll deal with this on my own. But before I got my period, I had 3 holes, and one of the holes wasn't doing anything, right? And I never thought to ask anyone around me, hey, what's this unemployed hole doing between my other 2 holes that are working pretty hard? I just walked around all day like, I don't know, that's my big one. God knows what he's doing. That's where my faith goes. After I saw Music Man, I started calling it my glove compartment, but that is another story. This was my sex talk. So when I was 10, I read what sex was in a book, not planning on it, just kind of like, oh my God, tried to forget. Just assaulted by Judy Blume, quite frankly. And then 2 years later, my dad was driving me home from school, and out of nowhere, he goes, do you know what sex is? And I was like, yeah, Dad, I read in a book. Let's never speak again, right? And he's like, all right, I need you to tell me what it is so I know that you know. My dad made me give him the sex talk. I was like, do you know what it is? He's like, why don't you just tell me what you know, and then I'll tell you what I know. And we'll get to the bottom of this together. I used to ask my parents for relationship advice every time I went through a bad breakup. Don't do that unless you want to learn too much about your parents. I had a terrible breakup in my early 20s, and I remember I was back home. My stepmom was trying to comfort me. She goes, Taylor, there was a guy in my... A parent die young, you tend to think about death a lot more than other people. I certainly do. I tend to jump to the worst possible scenario. I catastrophize constantly, much to the detriment of many of my relationships. I was dating a guy once, and I said, hey, babe, when you don't hear back from me for a few hours, do you ever get scared that something bad might have happened to me? And he goes, no. I get scared you're mad at me. Men would rather you be dead than mad at them. Men would rather be in mourning than in trouble. That's the truth. If a guy misses 5 calls from his wife, he's like, oh, I hope this is the paramedic who found her. I also wish that joke didn't work. You know what's so funny to me about men who kill their wives? What? Well, just wait. What's so funny to me about men who kill their wives is like they think they're gonna get away with it. And it's like, dude, you've never planned a goddamn thing in your whole life. You've never made a dinner reservation and now you're gonna hide a body? This is quite the maiden voyage for event planning, dude. Maybe start with a potluck. I do think I've spent a lot of my life being really scared of death. I don't think the dating app thing is for me, by the way. I don't think I can do it. Is anyone in here on dating apps? Okay. Has anyone in here never been on a dating app? Oh, I don't care for that. Wish I hadn't asked. The smugness of those woos. I hated every second of that. If you've never been on a dating app, let me tell you what it's like. Every dating app profile, you get 6 photos of what look like 6 different human beings. And then you have to go and sit at a coffee shop and wait for them. Like, come on, picture number 3. Come on, picture number 3. And then he gets there and you're like, God damn it, it's 4. But you can't just leave. You got to sit there for 45 minutes, nodding and smiling, knowing you're going to ghost him later. You feel creepy. You feel like Haley Joel Osment in The Sixth Sense. Just like, oh, he doesn't know he's dead yet. Dating is so awkward, especially dating apps. A dating app date is not a blind date, but it is a nearsighted one, you know? The first date's easy. You get dinner, drinks, that's basic. But then they're like, this was fun. We should hang out again. What should we do? And you're like, well, shit, I'm not a person with hobbies or interests. I'm basically just a stack of frightened possums in a trench coat right now, doing an impression of someone I saw on the street 8 years ago. So then you gotta go home and get online like a loser, like Date Ideas 2023. We could bowl. You ever drive past a bowling alley? Like, at least stay open. Second dates, that's how. We could bowl or mini golf. Is laser tag a real thing? You're just doing shit church youth groups do? When they're trying not to touch each other? Just lace up those bowling shoes, my man. You're either gonna commit to me or Christ tonight. Can't finger these holes, you can finger those. Pick your ball. Pick your ball. I'm an introvert, and I think that's why dating's harder for me. Extroverts are better at dating because you like getting to know people. You're like into it for some reason. That's why I think you're better at casual sex. When you think about it, a one-night stand is really just meeting someone as hard as you possibly can. I've never been able to have casual sex as an introvert. I can't even relate to my male comic friends in green rooms when they're talking shop about road sex. They're like, yeah, I had sex with this girl and then kind of just lost interest after I came. I'm like, totally. That's how I feel after I poop in a Barnes & Noble. Right? Because it's like, I got what I came for. We can go. But those are my most fun friends to talk to. My friends who have casual sex regularly, I always want to hear their updates. I have a friend, she's on Tinder. I call her every Monday. I'm like, hey, how was your weekend? She goes, great. Remember that guy I told you about? He is so good at dirty talk, Taylor. I'm like, what's like good dirty talk, in your opinion? She goes, I've been masturbating like this my entire adult life, and I recently mentioned it to a friend of mine. And you ever say something out loud and realize you never should have ever? I said it so casually over brunch, didn't even think about it. I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I don't think about anything. Well, I do that. And she was like, what? She put her fork down. What? You don't think about anything? And I was like, oh no, I mean, I think some stuff, obviously. And she was like, what do you think about? And I was like, oh, you know, just like, almost there, making good time. You know, just like road trip thoughts, like keep your hands steady, don't fall asleep. Can't wait to get there so I can eat. Better hurry up, Taco Bell's gonna close, you know. And she was like, that is so weird, Taylor. Why don't you just watch porn like a normal person? And I was like, ugh, I don't like porn. Every time I try to watch porn, I'm just like, you gotta shave there too? I'm tired and I'm cold. And I'm not against porn, okay? I'm not one of these people that's like, if you watch porn, it'll ruin your relationship. I don't feel that way, all right? I dated a guy once who was really into massage porn, where the masseuse would like fuck their client at the end, which means sometimes when we had sex, I got a massage! That's an example of porn working for you. But my friend was like horrified. She was like, Taylor, this like monk masturbation thing you do, it is so much creepier and weirder than any porn I've ever seen. And I've seen most of it. And she goes, there are so many different options porn-wise on the internet now. You just go home and Google porn for women, okay? Just do it, I promise. Porn for women. And so I went home and I Googled porn for women so I wouldn't be weird at brunch. And a lot of surprising things came up when I Googled it. First thing that came up when I Googled porn for women was a link to Disney Plus, where all the Avengers movies are. Now, for me personally, they jump around too much. There's too many storylines. You're almost there with Loki, and now we're on Captain America. It's like, I have to start over. That's a different speed, a different pressure, and now there's a raccoon? No. The second thing that came up when I Googled porn for women was a website where real-life couples are uploading amateur sex tapes. Yeah, real-life couples are like, hey, we're so happy and in love. We thought that we would film ourselves making love and then put it online for you, a lonely person. Is it working? Are you wet? And you're like, not in the right place. No. But congratulations, what you have seems really special. But the last thing that came up when I Googled porn for women, I did not know existed. It's something called audio porn. It's exactly what it sounds like. There's no visual aspect. It's all audio. It's not really a porn star. It's more like a porn voice actor talking you through a sexy situation. It's like a podcast, except don't listen while you're driving. And because it's for women, that just means there's a story, right? Anyone can watch. They don't check. They don't just hop on the mic like, now it's out, bitch! Like they ease you into it. And so the one I found is 20 minutes long. I will send it to you if you DM me. And the first 12 minutes, the story is just a man calming you down after you've been in a car wreck. That is the foreplay. And you guys, I came so hard. I mean, I didn't even make it to the sex part. It was the comfort alone. He's like, it's okay, take some deep breaths, don't worry. The insurance companies will figure it out. I'm like, oh my God, that's right, that's why we have insurance. By the time he was like, what else can I do? Should I go down on you? I was like, nah, man, I got Allstate. I'm in good hands. I'm not proud of this, but I told the girl that married him, I was like, you better hope he never does go to space. And she goes, why? Because it's dangerous? I said, no, because he's going to cheat on you up there. Oh, you don't think astronauts are cheating? They're in space for months, floating. How long do you think it's going to take before one of them looks at each other like, hey, you know we should try? Houston, we have a problem. Not a big one. I mean, it's medium. It's not small or anything. I'm just saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens on the moon never even happened. We faked that landing. That's a joke. We didn't fake it. There were no female astronauts back then. In that joke that I have trouble sleeping, DC, please, for the love of God, do not DM me articles after this show. I know you mean well, but I promise you I've read every sleep article out there. 3 ways how to sleep better. It is the same recycled tips over and over and over. Get a light lavender mist to spray on the cold side of your pillow at twilight. What am I, a witch? Make sure it's really dark and quiet in your room at night. Oh my God, it's supposed to be dark? I'm such a dumb bitch. I've been sleeping under a disco ball because vibes. I didn't know. Okay, dark, quiet, check. Fixed. Why not leave your cell phone in a different room at night? Why don't you put your baby outside? This is not to say that I'm against sleep advice. I'm just jaded, you know? I think I feel the way about sleep tips the way a lot of men feel about porn, where I'm like, no, I've seen all the basic stuff. Send me something weird. Now I'm going to ask this question, and let me preface this by saying it's totally okay if nobody has an answer. I ask every audience every night. It's nothing weird. If you think that you have a weird sleep tip that I've never heard of, I've read every article, I've listened to every podcast, I've seen a lot of TikToks, I ask this question to every audience every night of this tour. If you think you have a weird sleep tip that I have never, ever heard of, I would love for you to raise your hand and tell me what that is. That being said, if anybody raises their hand and goes, have you tried the Calm meditation app? I will have you removed. It's okay if no one has one. Does anyone have a weird sleep tip? Oh, we got a confident one right here. What have you got? Masturbate? Bitch, please. You think I haven't tried masturbating? I don't go to sleep, I come to sleep. Next. All right. What else we got? Thanks for playing. All right, what have we got? There's 2 things. Oh. And I do them in order. Okay.
You have to do a handstand.
I have to do a handstand against the wall? Okay, yoga. No. This sounds like I need to be hotter for this. I can't. All right. I just want to hear the end. So you do a handstand against the wall. Yeah. Just for a couple seconds. Okay. Yeah, just easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. This is how hot people talk. They're like, just do a handstand for 10 seconds. This is no big deal. You're like, some of us are top heavy. All right. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. And then you sleep upside down. Okay, I haven't heard the handstand part, but I have heard sleep upside down because it changes the bed. Yeah. It confuses your body. Yeah, confuse yourself to sleep. Okay, that's one. I've half heard that one. Okay, so, we'll half give it to you. Anybody else think they have a weird one? Like, really weird? It's okay if nobody does. I'm just curious. Okay, who said woo? All right, do it. What do you got?
Listen to him talk.
Listen to who?
This guy.
Listen to the guy you're with talk? Are you trying to get left? Or are you trying to offload your partner right now? Like, this one's available if he just talks and talks and talks. You fall asleep eventually. This bit right here. Wow, okay. That was fun. We all stepped in a divorce. Wasn't that a good time? That's the first time that's happened when I asked that question. Every night of the tour. Never gotten one of those. I can take this boring piece of shit home. All right, this is the last one. What do you got?
Listen to someone's random phone call in the other room. I've listened to my mom have a conversation with my grandma.
You eavesdrop on somebody's phone conversation from the other room. You've listened to your mom talk to your grandma. Did you miss the whole part where I said, I am alone? At least the last girl offered me someone. Have you tried falling asleep to the sound of people who love you in the other room? I would that I could. Okay, well, those hurt my feelings. I'm going to tell you the best one I've heard on this tour. Best one I heard on this tour was a few months ago. There was a woman in the front row. She raised her hand. She goes, I have a weird sleep tip. I said, what do you got? She goes, when I can't sleep, I lay on the floor in the kitchen for 10 minutes. And I was like, okay. And then what happens? She goes, then I get back in bed, I go sleep. This poor girl, abusive parents herself. She's like, oh, you killed them with the guy she's dating. I was like, really? She goes, yeah, would you ever have a threesome? I was like, oh my God, no. I didn't want to hang out with 2 other people. I've never been in the middle seat on a flight fighting for an armrest, like, wish we were all naked. That would be cool. I don't even think I could date an extrovert again. I dated an extrovert once. We moved in together. The first week we lived together, he's like, hey, what if we had some people over? I was like, look, if you don't want to be with me, just say so. You want to have people over? Over what? My dead body? If you're an extrovert and you're in love with an introvert, you gotta understand, asking us to invite people over is like asking us to do anal. Watch our face change. Like, I'm sorry, is it your birthday? Seems like a big ask for a random Tuesday. I live alone now. It's incredible. I fall asleep in the middle of the bed like a boy king, just like, good night, Joffrey. It's fantastic. I eat all the food I buy. Every grocery I buy, it goes mere, it goes bad. That's power, DC. Yeah. If I clog the toilet at home, I don't have to deal with it right away. That's freedom, DC. When I lived with a man I was attracted to, I was always like, no, please, toilet, don't tell him I'm a human woman. I beg of you. Take my dark secrets to your watery grave. Remember our bargain. Now I'm like, you loser, toilet. That's what lids are for. You want to see the sky, do your job. I was so afraid of being single all throughout my 20s. I was terrified. I used to be a really toxic girlfriend. I've worked on it a lot in therapy over the years. I was a nightmare in my 20s. I was dating a guy once in my 20s, and we were laying on the couch one night, and we weren't fighting, and I thought that was weird. So I turned to him, and I said, hey, babe, if you found out that we were cousins, would you break up with me? And he goes, yes. And I was like, whoa, fast. No follow-up questions. You're just out like that. He goes, it's illegal, Taylor. I'm like, so are mushrooms, and we did those. Now you're this law-abiding citizen just because we're cousins? He goes, you're so wrong about this. Ask anyone we know. So I texted the 3 happiest couples in my phone, and I said, hey, if you two found out you're cousins, you didn't know when you met, you haven't known this whole time you've been together, you have the same relationship you've always had, but whoops, you're cousins. Would you break up? And they all wrote back, do we have to tell anybody? And I showed him my phone, and I said, that's what love looks like. Quick poll. If you found out your partner was your cousin, clap if you would break up with them. Okay. That's a lot of people. No, don't discuss. Fight in the car. Fight in the car. Okay, now, if you found out your partner was a robot, clap if you would break up with them. Oh, interesting. Bit of a drop-off over here. Some of us clap for cousin and not for robot. Okay, so we're going to abandon our family, but we'll keep fucking the toaster. Okay, well, that makes sense. I've been working on anxiety in therapy. That's been my main focus for the last few years. Anybody have anxiety? Does anybody struggle with panic attacks? Has anyone ever gone to the emergency room for anxiety or panic attacks? Oh, a few of us. Look at that. What do we think was happening? Heart attack? Yeah. And then you get there and they're like, oh, it's actually your mind that's attacking you. Yeah. I'll make you feel better. I went to the emergency room once because I fell asleep in AirPods, woke up, couldn't find one, thought I swallowed it. You meant you drove halfway there and it turned around because it was silly? Nope, went the whole way. Got seen. I wish I could pretend this story happened a really long time ago, but the technology involved makes that impossible. So I've always had a lot of trouble sleeping, my entire life. And before AirPods came out, I would fall asleep in regular headphones, listening to a podcast or a movie, something to calm me down. And before AirPods came out, headphones had cords on them. So if you swallowed one of those, you just pull it out like a magician's scarf. No big deal. But then they came out with AirPods, so I started falling asleep in those. And so a few years ago, doesn't matter how many, I fell asleep in 2 AirPods, woke up in 1 AirPod, and was like, well, obviously I swallowed it. Like a baby or a dog. Convinced my sister to take me to the emergency room, ruining Christmas morning for everyone. So we get to the emergency room in our hometown where I have to tell 3 grown women at the front desk what I'm doing there. I'm like, well, you probably get this all the time. But it would seem that I may have, inadvertently, in my sleepy sleeps, swallowed an AirPod? And they were like, an AirPod, sweetie, those are pretty big, right? Those are big. You really think you could have swallowed an air? I said, how about we don't have a team discussion about what I can and can't swallow, okay? And they're like, wow, someone was ugly in middle school. We'll take you back. So they take me back. We're waiting for a doctor, which, by the way, I don't know what I thought a doctor was going to do if I had, in fact, swallowed an AirPod. They're not going to perform surgery. They're going to go, oh, my God, yeah, it's in there. Well, stop at Taco Bell on the way home. Good luck. Taco Bell, good for every occasion. I don't know what I thought the AirPod was going to do to me damage-wise in there. I'm like, what if it's still charged? What if it electrocutes my intestines or starts playing Glee covers and everyone can hear? My sister's like, you deleted them all. I'm like, not all of them. Some of them are bangers. Before a doctor can come in to see us, my other sister calls us from home and goes, hey, yeah, we found it in the pillowcase. Does Crazy want to come home and have pancakes now? I'm so embarrassed. I want to sneak out the back as quickly as possible. I'm like, let's just go. Let's just leave. And my sister's like, you can't just disappear. They're going to think something bad happened. I was like, something bad did happen. Let's go. She's like, that's an emergency exit. I'm like, it's an emergency room. It's a regular exit. Let's leave. But here's my problem with the emergency room. When you are having an anxiety or panic attack, it is your only option, which is why I think they need to open a second option right next door called the anxiety room. All right? So you have the ER and the AR. And the ER is where you go when you've been shot, stabbed, you are actively bleeding. That's where you go, you fill out all that complicated paperwork, because that seems like the time to do it. And then the AR is where you go when you're like, I don't know where the bad is, but it's in me somewhere. It's either cancer or the devil, but I have to get it out. And that is just one fill-in-the-blank form that says, I know that it is probably fine, but... my bones feel itchy. I don't know! I just need someone in a white coat to tell me I'm stupid. I know I mentioned during death has propelled me professionally. It's made me sort of a workaholic, probably. I was doing 2 full-time jobs for the last couple of years. I was touring, doing stand-up on the weekends, and then I was hosting a late-night show called After Midnight during the week. Oh, thank you. Thank you, that's very nice. Great experience, learned so much, worked with great people. I had an assistant on set, which I initially did not want. It is a slippery slope having someone whose whole job is to fetch you snacks, okay? Because day one, you're like, could I borrow a phone charger? Next thing you know, you're like, could I just grab a LaCroix? Before you know it, you're like, could you just hold both my hands until I fall asleep? My assistant's name was Molly. Molly was incredible. Molly was so good at her job, I'm definitely gonna die alone now because the standard of care in relationships is now Molly, all right? Here's how good Molly was at her job. My first day on the Paramount lot, I drive into the lot, I park in a reserved parking spot for me, and there's a big bush that's sort of growing in to the driver's side door, right? Nothing crazy, just enough to make it kind of hard to like, shimmy out, right? There's a few bees buzzing around, so I kind of did one of those before I was like, hey, nice to meet you, Molly. That's all that happened. I didn't complain about the bush. I didn't report the bush to anyone. Molly just witnessed the bush touch me a little. I drive onto the lot the next day, park in my spot, and the bush was gone. And I went, Molly, did you have them cut down this bush? And she goes, yep, and I had them spray for bees. And I went, okay, no one fuck with Molly. She had that bush whacked, literally. I couldn't talk casual shit around her. I didn't know what she would do. I couldn't come in on a Tuesday like Dave's kind of bugging me today, because I'd come in Wednesday like, hey, where's Dave? He's with the bees, Taylor. You flinched in his presence, so I took care of it. It's my first time I'd ever had a corporate. I realized in therapy that because my mom died young, I have this irrational belief that I am also going to die young. So I've been living in a very intense, unhealthy way my entire adult life, where I'm like, I can't take a break. I got to be working all the time. I have to hit these goals and achievements. Otherwise, I'm nothing. I got engaged a few years ago because I was like, I got to get married before I'm dead, which is a super hot way to propose to somebody. I call it the walk to remember. It's kind of my move. And it did not work out with my ex-fiance.